Have you ordered anything from Amazon lately? If so, it might have come from Haslet, Texas. I'm Jeb Morgan. I'm going to give you a short speech about Haslet, Texas, the history of Haslet, and the area around it, including Perot Field. So, back in the day, Haslet was a farming community north of Fort Worth. So one day, a farmer was out tending to his cattle, and he came across a construction crew belonging to the Colorado and Santa Fe Railroad. He asked them what they were doing. They said, "We're looking for places to lay our track down. We're heading northbound." So the farmer said, "Okay, well, you put it right there on my land." And so the construction crew foreman was actually from a town in Michigan called Haslet, just a different spelling. So what they decided to do was name that stretch of the railroad tracks and the area Haslet after the farmer has let us come through his area of his land. So eventually in 1961, the farming community of Haslet was incorporated into the town of Haslet, Haslet. So with that, with the future growth and expansion of the area, came the addition of Perot Field, which used to be called Alliance Airport. It was named after a billionaire developer, and they brought in all kinds of industry to the area. Perot Field started in December 14th of 1989, and at its conclusion of the last couple of years, it has estimated to be a economic impact of the area of over $100 billion. So with the growth of the airport came some accessibility challenges. So one of the challenges was the runway links. So think about the last time you've had to move somewhere and you had all your stuff, you might have had to take multiple trips. Well, multiple trips is not efficient. Just like when you get there, you had to put your stuff somewhere. That was one of the challenges that Perot Field faced back in its early days. So one of the things they had to do was look at the needs of the global industrial complex and see what they were going to need to develop this area into what it is today. As that started happening, we started to see that shape the Haslet area into what it is today. One of the most important factors in efficiency is infrastructure and expansion of infrastructure. Short runways were fixed, and that allowed the larger cargo planes to come in and out of the airport without having to do fuel stops at other airports before they went over the oceans to the international ports. So expanding the intermodal capabilities, once we actually got the international flights in, remember, all that stuff has to be put somewhere. So we were building better warehouses, larger facilities, and then we were upgrading all of our intermodal capabilities with companies like BNSF, JB Hunt, and Amazon. Eventually, Amazon created an air hub at the Perot Field. Now that created the trifecta. Now we have air intermodal, we have ground freight, we have rail freight. Now this area was considered one of the world's largest inland ports. So soon after that, we started looking at the regional rail, air cargo, and inland port options. International cargo was coming in and out, and companies like JB Hunt started looking at R&D programs, and they're actually currently now working on the fully autonomous transport vehicles. And so things like that basically made dreams a reality, okay? So in conclusion, we've looked at the history of Haslet, how it came about, what factors kind of influenced that, and then what influenced the infrastructure growth of the area. Given that insight, I hope you learned a little bit about Haslet and how a small town like Haslet could affect the world's overall growth and economy. Remember, the next time you order something on Amazon, it might have come from Haslet.